Hello, welcome back to the show, the Back Porch Overs Club nightly, weekly, even though it's been 2 weeks show. Scott, can you hear me just fine, brother?
I can hear you fine.
Okay. No no lag on our end or anything like that.
No lag. There's a little bit of background music there for a second, but I think we're good now.
Yeah, I'm lowering it. Yeah, I'm lowering that down. Lowering that down. Guys, we are so happy to be back here once again with you, all on the Back Porch Football Show. Pretty much, college football is pretty much season has ended. We got playoff football. NFL's ramping up soon. A lot to talk about. It's been a few weeks. Holidays are coming. This is that fun time of year where it's like you're off of work for 2 weeks or you're still working through. We're here to entertain you and keep you focused on the most important stuff at the end of the year, which is your football bets and your football picks. That way you can stay the guru in the office. You can stay the most consistent person in your friends group, and because you can always thank us later for that.
You
So
buy everyone Christmas presents with the
exactly, yeah. So I am Nate. So if it's your first time listening to us on a pod or on the YouTube channel, I'm Nate, and Scott is my man over here. He is my co-host. He is my confidant. He is not a Longhorn fan at all. I don't know why he pulled up the horns like that. Yep.
Put them down to put them down.
Yeah. He is a former college baseball player. He's a Brownie for life, Ohio till he dies. That is my boy Scott. So Scott, what have you been up to the last couple weeks? Catch us up from the last time we had our last show we had.
Well, honestly, I've just been crunching the numbers to see the playoff scenario on how the Browns can still make the playoffs. That's basically what I spend my whole entire time since our last show.
Just for the
trying
numbers.
to find the miracle algorithm on how we can still make the playoffs. And to be perfectly honest with you, there are some routes that aren't crazy to think about. Like that.
I would love to have to hear a route because I know you're not eliminated yet. I need one.
Okay.
I know before we get into our game plan and everything like that, I need to hear one of these scenarios.
Okay, I got the playoff simulator that the playoff machine um, reset on me when I opened up a new tab on the internet. So I had to like
Yeah.
reload it, and it totally like crapped out on me. So I have to bring it back up, and I'll go ahead and just do this while we can chat about other things that went on today. What's your opinion on National Signing Day? Because I have a little bit of a hot take on it.
Yeah, I got a few hot
But
takes
how was your
too on
time?
that one. It's still a day. It still makes college football relevant. Um,
Hmm.
that's my 2 cents before we dive into that because um, back in the day, it was the day around like that was all you got. Like before the commercialization of massive recruiting websites and all that stuff. So it's still fun. It's still nostalgic, but it's just it's a day, another day in college football.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not a huge fan of it myself. I think it's gotten to that point now, like you were saying, back in our day when we were young bucks, signing day was big and people would do it right. Now we got guys like Travis Hunter
Yeah.
saying that he's going to announce his transfer when his YouTube gets to 100K
Yeah, that was
subscribers.
stupid.
They're,
Yeah.
they're doing it for the cloud and the Instagram post and
I don't
all
know.
that stuff.
I
I don't like it.
We can talk more about that one. There's I can try. I'm trying to understand the modern football player, like mentally. I'm trying to understand that. So To me, it's far fetched. It's crazy. It seems like you're selfish. I would never want to play with you ever in the trenches. Like in practice, I would purposely go on my way to like make you quit because
Yep.
to me you're weak minded. But that's just our day. Today's football player, everyone likes that. Like I don't know, like I don't play anymore, so we'll get into that. Definitely get into that. Let me throw up our game plan. Oh well, forgot other introductions, right? So, what do you got going for Christmas this week?
We're just gonna do it at mom and dad's house, and we got football Saturday. We got some
Don't
bowl
we?
games.
Don't we?
We got an NFL slate on Saturday. Saturday Red Zone with Mr. Hansen and Siciliano. So
He
that's
better
gonna
wear
be
an elf
really awesome.
elf hat or something.
Yeah,
Like
that's
Scott Hansen, if you're watching this, you better wear elf hat on Christmas or Christmas Eve.
we need it.
Yeah, yeah. We are leaving tomorrow with the
Yeah, you
family.
have like
Going
a
to
full
yeah,
range of stuff.
it's a full range of things. Yeah, leaving tomorrow. We're going to Orlando on stop one of Christmas vacation. We are going to on Friday. We're gonna go to the Magic Kingdom in Epcot with
Hmm.
our buddy Christian.
Yep,
It is his birthday, and he personally asked me if I wanted to come, and he's gonna get us in with his day pass. So, Christian, thank you so much for that one, and I can't wait
shout
to
out
celebrate your
Christian.
birthday.
Yes,
Very selfless love of you to do that, and put the baby in the park for Christmas, and it's gonna be nice and beautiful. Orlando's gonna be 30, 40 degrees, 70 high
yeah, that's
Friday.
football.
It's beautiful. It's gonna feel like the holidays. Here in Savannah, it's gonna be cold and icy. So I'm ready to get out of that. And then we're gonna do that, and then Christmas Day, we're gonna go down to Fort Lauderdale for Christmas Eve and Christmas Day with the family and celebrate Christmas with them. And then I get back everybody in the car, and we're heading back to Savannah, and then we're gonna go to Gatlinburg and Pigeon
That's
Forge. Yep, for a
that,
week to finish
that's
out.
crazy.
So, yep. So like next week, if we do a show, I'll be in a cabin um, with my sister. It'll be fun. I'll have my sister there, and we could probably do a show if we got downtime. Are you working next week at all or anything like that?
Yeah, we're working it through. So yeah, we're just taking the weekend off.
Okay.
We even got some work on Friday that needs to get done.
The grind doesn't
So
stop,
yeah,
eh?
yeah,
That's
grind
awesome.
grind does not stop.
Yep, yep. Yeah,
And
my
I'm not complaining about it.
my grind is slowed down because it's the end of the year, business year. So
Yeah, no
it'll
doubt.
kick right back up though as soon as the week of the second hit. So I'm very blessed that I can take this time off and be with my family at the end of the year. So I'm very proud of that, and I cherish these moments. So um, let's get into this, man. I'm excited for today's game plan. If I can get the
Pull it up.
overlay up, come on. There it is.
Okay, I do. I found the scenario again, so
All right. Give us that scenario.
I'll feed it to you whenever you need to.
All right. I'm ready for it since you were looking
Okay.
for it. Yeah.
So this coming weekend, obviously, number one, the Browns have to win out to finish 9-8. That should be clear, as can be. Going to the playoffs at 9-8 ain't gonna happen at 8-9.
Yeah.
So the Browns will have to win out, which is wins against the Saints, the Commanders, and the Steelers. It could happen. Then this weekend, the Jags would have to beat the Jets. The Falcons do have to beat the Ravens.
Which is possible.
Yep. Patriots over Bengals. I don't know if that actually has. No, that game does not matter in the criteria. Green Bay over Miami. is
Green Bay over
a
Miami. That's a tough one. It's in Miami.
actually no, that game does not. That scrap that. I was just looking at games ahead of us. Screw the Chargers. And then the following week, Pittsburgh over Baltimore, Miami over New England, Buffalo over Cincinnati.
Really?
And I actually think that one might be a toss-up as well. Yeah, that one just implies seeding. Jags over Texans would have to be a thing. Cowboys over Titans as well.
Well, those are two possible scenarios for sure.
Those are very, very, very likely.
Yeah.
Week 18, Bills over Patriots. Bengals over Ravens. Jags over Titans. Dolphins over Jets. Browns are in the playoffs.
I honestly, you just gave me a roadmap.
It is a total of 17 things that have to happen. But do have to say there is a path. Mathematically,
there is a path. I see it.
It is there, and it would suck if it didn't happen. But hey, oh well. I mean, at the end of the day, I think if you finish the season off on a couple more wins, where I think this weekend, next weekend against the Commanders, and then obviously the Week 18 matchup against Pittsburgh will be for basically just bragging rights and pride. I think I think you go 5-1 with Deshaun Watson with him not being up to full speed. I think you can consider that to be a successful season with how bad that it started with a couple different collapses, couple different special teams blunders that have cost us some games. So I think you can look at it as a positive, even though you missed the playoffs. But there's still a path. That's all that matters to me, is that there is a path on Christmas weekend.
There's always hope. They are not eliminated like the Rams. The Rams have been eliminated.
Yep.
So, you are, to me, you're better than the Rams, and they're Super Bowl contenders. So, just saying, you got eliminated. I want to keep hearing it's possible. The things that you have said can happen.
Yeah. The craziest one out of all of them is obviously the Falcons over the Ravens this weekend, but Tyler Huntley is playing again, and Atlanta can run the ball.
Yeah, I was saying Atlanta
can run the ball. So hopefully they can pull it off. And then hey, we might be talking soupy in Cleveland. You never know.
You never know. You really don't. You don't. Yeah, I feel like the Ravens are the next 2 weeks. Is Lamar coming back next week?
He has not practiced for the 8th straight time. So he is more than likely not playing this weekend. And we'll see what happens next weekend. God, I honestly, if I'm Lamar, and it's probably not what will happen, Lamar will probably play as soon as he is ready to play, because that's just how he is.
Yeah.
But if I was him, I would just sit out and just continue to let them lose, because I feel like with every loss and every bad offensive performance, that his value just goes up for the money that he could get.
Exactly. Yeah. They're either, to me, especially because of this year's, I know we're way ahead of our game plan, but this year's coming out of, what quarterback are you going to get that's better than Lamar? There's no quarterback. Yeah, I can see right now that's better than Lamar Jackson.
Mm-hmm.
So they're going to have to pay the man.
Yep.
They're going to have to pay the guy. They can let him walk, but what do you just go poor man Lamar, which is Huntley, for a season?
Yeah.
I mean, essentially he's less skilled full Lamar.
Yep.
I mean, that's at the end of the day, that's what he is. Oh, so but
Nice that they
no,
don't have a system, but at the same time,
yeah,
it's just it's not feasible for them to do what they want to do.
I'm with you on that one. All right, so today's game plan is pretty much right there. Since it's Christmas time, we themed it with a red and green for y'all because that's what we do here at the back porch. We like to keep it themed. We're gonna have Santa's bag, and so that one's something fun that I put together for the little a little snick bit that I get to hear Scott's opinion on as well. We have bowl weeks one. Week one, there was 9 really good bowl games. We were actually blessed with these smaller tier games actually being pretty good.
Yeah,
In our bowl pick'em, I honestly shat the bed. In our bowl
yeah, you're
pick'em,
down at 7-5.
7-5.
I
I could make my
our leader is 9-3, so you get a couple
yeah get a
swings
couple.
here and there.
Yeah, there's a few games that were just like I'm looking at the papers and I'm looking at the numbers. I'm like, okay, these team like the Eastern Michigan game versus San Jose State. San Jose State, pound per pound, was a better ball team. What happened is Eastern Michigan got a block field goal, got 2 points, and then immediately after that got like an interception, and then after that got a fumble, and it was just like within a second the game was 21-13. And so it was just one of those weird things, but that's why they play the game, right?
Yeah.
But I was
Louisville Cincy game. Like, what
the
was
Louisville
that?
Cincy game. Honestly,
Cincy laid an egg after Fickle just gone.
I should have gone with Louisville. I don't know why I did not go with Louisville. In my head, I'm going. They just lost their coach. They're pissed off. Why not? What do you want to do to someone who takes something from you? Make them feel bad about it. So that was another game that it was like right there. You could easily take in. I overthought it.
Jackson State game in overtime, was it?
That one, I think everybody. I don't know who had in our group had North Carolina State, but kudos to you. I think they're just going. I think they're just going against the grain on that one. But that's been the best bowl game.
Yeah.
That to me, I watched that. It was such a good game.
BYU SMU was 24-23. That
it was close. They've been close,
couple good games. Boise State, Northern Texas, 35-32. Like they've been competitive.
They're very competitive games. Yeah, from the jump, from the Bahamas Bowl. Tonight's game, there is a game at 9:00 tonight. So if you're listening, and you don't have to work tomorrow or whatnot, there is a game tonight in the New Orleans Bowl. South Alabama, another good 10-win team, versus Western Kentucky, a sneaky good quarterback at Western Kentucky. Is actually, if he comes out and declares he's on Mel Kiper's board as well, but I think he's going to stay, and he might, if he stays, he'll transfer portal and go somewhere because he's really good.
Yeah.
So we're going to do bowl week, then the face-off, which we probably won't do that one. We're going to go to NFL and contenders and pretenders later. So Santa's mailbag is really fun, or Santa's bag, like Santa's gift bag, really. This is Santa's gifts that he's giving to D1 coaches, Power 5 D1 coaches, things that they didn't ask for, but he just knows they need. You ready for it, Scott? You ready to see what Santa brought some of these guys?
I'm excited. Very excited.
Right. So the first lucky coach this year, and I say lucky because he's lucky to get fired for underachieving like all of them this year. The biggest underachiever of them all is Jimbo Fisher. So Jimbo Fisher went 5-8 this year, or 5-7, or something like that. The man needs help. He needs help.
Yes.
And you're in your car and you need help. And, this is modern times. So you just normally get a roadmap back in the day if you get lost or something. Well, if you got lost but you need to call somebody and you have a cell phone, this was invented for this. Jimbo Fisher's getting a full year subscription of OnStar. Santa's brought Jimbo Fisher OnStar. The man needs it. He might not know how to use it, but he needs it. He needs navigational help.
Yep. Get
He
him back
needs
on track.
he needs roadside assistance when his tires are deflated. If his car blows up, someone can at least tow him. Sometimes you see someone to talk to on that OnStar. So I feel like Santa's bringing him OnStar this year, full year. He needs it. After seeing what they did in the today's signing period, a lot of the momentum is still swirling downward for him.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, OnStar does come equipped with an offensive coordinator. That's what it's for, Jake. Good question. Good question, Jake. Jake could not be with us tonight. He is with his two kids. But that was a great question on that one. Yes, OnStar comes with comes with an offensive coordinator and a whole new philosophy and culture. The money's still there though for Jimbo. That's the cool thing. Good for him. They lost some dudes in some flips today in the early signing day, and a lot of portal. They had 20, I think a total of 21 portal guys so far, portal jumpers. They've gotten a few back in the portal, but yeah, they need a complete new makeover over there. And I think OnStar, if he gets it for Christmas, Santa will get them where they need to be. I mean, which is 8-4. Everybody knows that 8-4 Texas A&M. That's where they need to be, which is crazy. All right, the next lucky contestant in Santa's bag this year is our boy out in the West Coast. He's got that big, nice $10 million home on the beach. He's got a great recruiting class coming in. He's got a Heisman Trophy winner coming back. But guess what? When you're away from home that much, not recruiting defensive players, you need something to help you at home, like a ring home security defense. So Lincoln Riley needs that ring home.
Ring cameras.
He needs ring cameras. He needs he needs alarms. He needs all that stuff so that way people can't just be stealing his goodies.
Mm-hmm.
So, which that means he needs a defense. He needs a good defense, a defense that sees everything. So I feel like Santa's going to bring him not just like the beginner pack. He's going to bring him like, hey, this is like what we give to like professional buildings.
He's getting the commercial package.
Like he's getting the commercial Ring Central package with a full offensive, defensive coordinating and great and upgrades on his coaches. They got a lot of
coaching
players, all that, just on the defensive side of the ball. Offensively, they're fine. They're going to be fine. They're going to be just as good next year with all the weapons they've already got in the portal with that Stringer kid from Arizona. He led the Pac-12 in catches and receptions. And he's like, I'm just going to transfer from Arizona to USC. Like, that's not even fair. So they'll have Jordan Addison and him next year. That's going to be gross. And Caleb Williams himself. So, but yeah, they just need defense. There's still portal guys that they're gonna get on the defense. I know, and then they just signed a bunch of defensive guys. So they don't have to be great. They just got to be better than mediocre.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, and if you're listening or watching anything, we've been doing these tier breakdowns, and it does shed light on actually these defenses, like teams like USC and Tennessee. There's a reason why they're not in the playoffs. Like their defenses were bad. Like statistically, like fans are like, "Yeah, we're okay, we're medium, we're mediocre." But it's when you look at the numbers, like we have, and broke them down and put them in a tier level. It's because they literally had holes in their defense, and teams finally found them. And that's pretty much it. Plug those holes, you're fine. That's what these coaches are aiming to do. The next one is close to home for you, Scott. It's old little Ryan Day. Santa loves him. He's always been a good kid, never on the bad list. But Santa's just tired of seeing him get beat up. So Santa, instead of getting him toys or fun things, shiny things to play with, Santa got him a subscription to boot camp.
No more being soft. It's time.
No more
Time
being
to
soft. He has
step out of the sandbox and pull up the
yep.
Pampers.
He got
Time
one
to play
Santa.
ball, Ryan.
Santa bought Ryan Day, him and his staff, one of those like Navy SEAL weekends where you go and build your
Like a
team
corporate
corporately.
retreat.
A corporate retreat.
It's for the
Santa
coaches.
Santa got the entire staff except Coach Hartline because he can stay by himself. He's fine.
He'll just grab another 5-star while
he'll just grab a 5-star on the way to camp. But no, that's what Santa brought him, and Santa's a big believer in Ohio State. He always has been. He matched his red suit to Ohio State colors. I mean,
I actually think the suit is scarlet. So
yeah. Get rid of the chairman and get Ryan Day that single ply Dollar Tree toilet paper. The Charmin. Jake said, get rid of the Charmin and get Ryan Day that single ply Dollar Tree toilet paper. That is one way to toughen him up for sure. Santa wanted him to.
There's a couple things that you can't go cheap on in life, and this is from Colin Coward. You can't go cheap on your shoes because you got to take care of your feet. You can't go cheap on your toilet paper because you got to take care of your bum, and you can't go cheap on your quarterback. It's a Colin Cowardism.
And sometimes he's right.
Yeah, I think he's right on the Charmin and
on the Charmin. Yeah. You don't go cheap on.
I actually agree with all three.
You don't go cheap. Yeah. I feel like Santa nailed it though with the toughen up boot camp. I think that's what he needs to spark himself for the 2023 season for sure.
Is boot camp before Donovan Mitchell just hit a bank 3, and it was so awesome to end the third quarter, and then they gave up another bank 3. Jesus, that was awesome. He shot it from half court, and the bank was open. Is boot camp before the college football playoff? Because I'm gonna need it to be able to be redeemed before the college football playoff for Ryan Day.
No, it'll be after, when the season's over, the full season's over. Yeah.
Okay. So I don't feel better about the New Year's Eve game now. Okay.
No.
I wanted to know
if he did boot camp. Honestly, it would resonate, but it wouldn't help.
Yeah.
This is gonna be after. This is gonna be a 2023 op. This is gonna be in May. They're gonna go somewhere in the mountains. They have to fight for their lives.
Yeah.
All right. The next coach on this one got really embarrassed during actually the worst bowl game out of all of them week 1. Wasn't his fault. He had a lot of transfer portal guys, which makes no sense if his culture and his philosophy was actually being engulfed and embellished by the players. He has one of the best offensive quarterbacks, according to Mel Kiper, in the world. Coach Napier at Florida, Santa Claus sees him and he feels bad for him. He told me, Coach Napier, he's got the tangibles, he's got the track record, he's done it at lesser Power 5, lesser schools, but he just needs a clue. So Santa's going to give him the game of Clue.
All right. I love that for him.
So he can work out many scenarios. He can figure out who's trying to murder him and figure out who's trying to take down. Is it the boosters? Is it the school? Is it my own coaching staff? He's got to figure it out because Florida they shouldn't be 6-6. This year was a rebuild year, but you're supposed to look at your bowl game and you're supposed to look at it and you're supposed to see next year's team in the bowl game, even though you're not going to win. There was no spark.
They were flat. They moved the ball on, I think it was their second offensive possession. The Gators moved the ball a little bit with former Ohio State great Jack Miller. Who could forget Jack Miller mop up role for like all the games that he came in and was able to just really good with the handoff exchange. I saw that a lot of
Yeah, a lot of
that
this.
yeah, a lot of for the shotgun handoff. And they moved the ball pretty well. Like the second possession, they had like a really rough 3-and-out to begin, and then they just killed themselves with penalties. And then they couldn't move the ball like at all after that. It was really bad. Not
Yeah,
gonna lie.
it was bad. And then like if you're on
And then no
Twitter
one
or
wanted to play like that
no
second
one,
half.
I get it, but like the film that I watched that Barstool and they were making fun of, number 33 defensive end, on a second down play, like 2nd and 10 or whatever, literally stood straight up and walked. Like that was his effort to the quarterback.
I actually didn't see that video.
You haven't seen that? You'll see it now that I said it.
Yeah.
You'll probably scroll tomorrow and see it. It's really embarrassing. Like that's bad. That I know the game wasn't even over. It wasn't even far from over. It was only 13 to nothing.
Mm-hmm.
And number 33.
If you see it again, tag me so I can see it.
I will. Yeah, number 33 literally came off the ball, stood straight up, and had his hands out like this with no attempt to even do anything. Like he literally stood up and walked. And the Oregon State right tackle was like, "You're not like gonna."
Yeah, you're not gonna like push me. Like, what are you doing?
It was sad, and I was like, "Dang, like that's a cultural thing." Like you're not gonna win because Oregon State was a good team this year, and that was a bad draw for them in the bowl game. But even if there's no hope, you still try. You still go 100%. Like it doesn't matter. That's a cultural. That's a coaching thing, and he's got a. That's why Santa Claus is going to give him clue. And what Jake just said too in the chat, Jake said Napier needs to focus on not losing recruits to UCF. Mary Flipness from the Gus Bus. Yeah. He lost a big time 4-star recruit to UCF. It was
a DN, right?
Yeah, the edge rusher, which
the edge rusher.
They need obviously. They need defense badly. They need DBs like crazy. When you think of the good Florida teams in the past, they've always had a top 10 defense. Offensively, they're not like going to score 50 points. They never have done that. But they like the Urban Meyer years, those teams are stacked and they only scored like 20 something points a game. And they beat you defensively.
If they needed to win in shootouts, they did, but
but it was very rare. It was very rare.
The offensive plays, the game.
Yeah. So Sam's gonna bring him clue. The next one up here is the oldest coach on Santa's list. He had a great day. Had 5 or 6 5-stars today. Don't know how he did that. Boosters. It's Nick Saban. Nick Saban. Santa looked at him and goes, Nick, 10-2 is your worst record in a very long time, and I feel bad for you. And I know you're not calling it quits. You're not hanging up those cleats. So what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna download TikTok on your smartphone, and you're gonna learn how to do TikTok. And so Santa's gonna give him TikTok lessons, and so he can learn how to do TikTok and all that stuff. So him and his new caliber of players that he's bringing into Alabama will actually have something in common, and he'll be able to bridge the gap now, and then they'll have a more disciplined team because they'll be able to listen to him because he'll probably do his lessons through TikTok and stuff like that. So so I can see Santa think outside the box on this one. So
all right,
yep, and Santa's got one more. And it's for Dabo Sweeney.
Is it a new ACL?
It's a new ACL.
He's gonna tear it when he's running to midfield one of those games down that hill. I'm telling you.
No, it's called Life Alert. Because Dabo still refuses, like an old person, to just get a cell phone or anything like that. So Santa's bringing him Life Alert because he hates this nil thing. And then today's what he said about we've been doing nil longer than y'all have been doing nil,
Yeah.
and it's like God's name, image, and likeness. I'm like, man, you're getting a lot of these butchisms going. They're gonna be
Yep.
champions of life soon, so he needs life alert to get to more energy sprung up in that organization of his, and it needs it because you got Florida State on the rise, Miami with the craziest freaking turnover. I've never seen a team win 3 games and get that many players.
Mm-hmm.
Like the bag is deep in Miami
Yeah.
right now. It's ridiculous right now.
We'll
So
just go to that that 01 team. Like how many of those guys, made hundreds of millions of dollars in the NFL, and then you bring it back with their very prestigious doctorate school, and
yeah,
they just have the pockets are so deep down there in Miami.
it's crazy. It's crazy. The fact that Miami uh, is the number 3 in the nation, I believe, right now. I follow on 3 more than anybody now,
Mm-hmm.
because they take obviously the caliber of the player and their ranking, but also like their nil input, their nil influence. They freaking went from last week like 15-3. And they took Florida State flips. They flipped some guys from Florida State. They flipped some guys from Florida. They flipped some guys, I think, from Ohio State. They've been flipping dudes like crazy. So I don't know. I guess the money came in. It just took longer than expected, but I guess it was right on time because freaking Mario Cristobal has got a huge team full of these kids. It reminds me of last year's Texas A&M, honestly.
Yeah.
But the question is now can Mario coach? Can he?
Mm.
Like you get that many players back to back to back to back to back like that. I don't like I said in the age of nil. I just look at it as a bunch of just selfish players. We'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see.
It's and we had the talk before about it that it's like it's all name, image, likeness, but it's not actually name, image, likeness. Like name, image, likeness is about jersey sales and ticket sales and what you're doing, like commercials and stuff like that. Like these people are just, hey, like sign with us to play with us. It's free agency. Like it's not name, image, and likeness. Like
Yeah,
it is very fun to see it, and I get it's new and like they have to figure it out. But,
Jake is saying go back to episode 1 when I said Miami is 2 to 3 seasons away from being the U. I totally agree with you on that one. Mario, the fact that his team they had so many transfer portal kids and kids just quit and whatever because he came in with his foot and he put it down. He said, if you're going to be on this team, you're going to be disciplined. You're going to do these things that we're supposed to do. It's not like it was back in the day. And a lot of them kids, even the freaking quarterbacks that he had, it just became an attitude problem, and he got rid of those guys. But you can't. In my head, I'm like, you're bringing all these nil kids in, and then you're going to tell them, "Hey, you guys still listen to me?" After they got the bag, we'll see. Hopefully he can. Hopefully he can do it. I think he can. I don't think Dan Lanning can, but we'll get into that. But I think Mario can because he's been a top recruiter everywhere he's been, and on top of that, he's got the saving stuff. He's been a good defensive coach. He's got to get his guys in and his culture set. Jake said Cristobal is an elite trench recruiter. He definitely is. We all know that. Great.
and I think the thing with Miami being able to come back, I don't think like coming in the ACC, it's gonna be that hard for them to be like, a team say like Vanderbilt in the SEC or Virginia Tech like in the ACC. Like it's not gonna be crazy. It's a crazy ladder for them to climb.
No.
I think that they can get really good in that conference really fast, especially with the way that Clemson looks. Like I think 2 to 3 years is probably a very good estimate because it's going to be quick.
Absolutely. And they can easily go from 3 wins to 8 or 9 next year.
Yeah.
Based off of just who they play. The ACC will be down next year. Wake Forest won't be Wake Forest. NC State won't be NC State. Clemson's going to be Clemson. Syracuse won't be as good as they were this year. The entire ACC, besides Florida State, Clemson, it's going to be mid. They had a lot of seniors, a lot of people transfer out of the ACC. So if you're looking at a big, huge shift from 3 wins to 9, they could definitely get a 6-game increase based off of schedule alone. So it really just all depends on what he does from right now until August. And if he gets a bunch of buy-in, he's got a bunch of transfer portal guys, a bunch of veterans coming through. So if he can get those veterans with all these new kids, these 18-year-olds buying into the Miami thing, and he gets the Miami culture that's supposed to be Miami with like all the old players coming through and like the old heads, like the legend players and stuff, like helping these guys out. Like, hey, this is what we did in 2001. This is what we did. This is how we did those things. Like, learn from us. Like, that's big. You know what I mean? So I think he is a Miami guy. I think he's going to get them that tough. Because most Miami teams, they might have had swag, but they would slap you in the face.
Mm-hmm.
Like they were tough. Like, they were tough some bitches. Like, so that's one on that. So where were we at? How did we get down to Miami?
We were doing the last Santa bag.
Yes. Yes. So that is the Santa bag. We'll go into bowl week 1. We kind of briefly talked about bowl week 1. Our bowl pick'em, we have, I think, 19 people in our bowl, which is awesome. I'm going to still create a trophy for the winner. It's a free, guys. It's going to be funny. It's literally going to be something spray painted gold. It's going to be great. I'm excited to grow. The fact that we got 20 people, and I don't even know half of them. So, like, clearly Instagram's working. People are liking what we're putting on Instagram. So I'm excited about it. It's cool to see. And there's so, like, if you look at this week, like week 2's been tough already. Week 2, there's a lot of tough games coming up. And then once we get into the thick of it, next week after Christmas, there's some tough games, man. Like,
it could turn quickly.
It can.
Still how it goes for the
yeah.
for the rest of it. So don't be expecting the trophy just yet if you're in first place.
Yeah, but if you're in first, like, you better.
Bama Cam, I think, is in first.
Yeah, that's my best friend from high school, Cameron.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah, he's really good.
Don't be expecting the trophy just yet. Like,
yeah, Bama Cam. Yeah, don't be expecting. He's killing it though. He's killing it. He called a couple of those early games. So I think next year, when we do college game day, on our game day picks, I'm gonna have him on there because this year was, I think, my record. Him and I had the same record.
Okay.
So I was like, he can be on. He can be on next year.
He can. That's respect.
Yeah. He's no FBI killer.
Spread.
Huh?
How is he against the spread?
I don't think he's done that. He doesn't do that. If he did though, and he dabbled into it, he would probably be pretty good.
He'd be sharp.
Yeah, he'd be sharp. Yeah. So we just got to get him. We just got to get Georgia to legalize mobile gambling.
Yeah.
I'm excited because I'm going to Tennessee, and it is so.
Oh yeah, you're gonna have a blast.
Dude, I'm gonna have so many. I'm gonna have to be monitored because I'm gonna do some stupid parlays.
$1. You gotta love the $5 cash.
I'm gonna do a 10-leg bowl game parlay. Stupid. Oh man, it's gonna be fun that week. I plan on at least breaking even.
Yeah,
Put $100 down credits and just play with it.
yeah, exactly.
So,
What you got?
did you see the guy?
Yes, I know exactly who you're talking about.
I was gonna mention that it wasn't
That 6 leg or 8 leg parlay
8 leg parlay, $27,
turned
and
into like
yeah,
10. Was it like 10 million or something?
I'm like, yeah, piss
This is
off,
something stupid. Yeah.
piss off, piss.
Dude,
God.
did you see the other one? I saw this one on TikTok, and it was a guy that he bet Argentina to win the World Cup, but he bet the Rugby World Cup, not the actual soccer World Cup, and he
Oh,
thought that he won the bet, but he bet on the Rugby World Cup. It
oh
was just really funny.
man,
Yeah.
oh
So
man.
I don't know what's going on or when the Rugby World Cup is, or if there. I didn't even know there was a Rugby World Cup. So it was just really really funny. So
That is funny. That is funny. I know there was one guy he bet like $10 and it was like a 8 game leg parlay, but it was all championships.
yeah,
Champions? Is that the same guy? Or
I
no?
think it was, to be honest with you.
Because he cashed out.
Yeah, the I did. I remember seeing the cash out video, but
Yeah.
the cash out guy had what's it called? He had it
He had
was in
France.
Argentina to win.
He had France to win.
Yeah, he had France to
And
win.
he cashed
It was
out.
like the smartest cash out.
Yeah, because he made like $280,000.
Yeah, it was so worth it.
It's still worth it. He made $27, $280,000. I'll cash that all
Yeah,
day.
yeah, yeah. See,
Yeah.
like,
So yeah, I'm excited. Super excited.
yeah.
Question is like, what mobile do I go with? With Barstool? Do I go with MGM? Do I go with? I don't know who to go with when I'm in Tennessee.
Yeah, I usually when I was in Tennessee, the Barstool book is very very like user friendly. I think if you go on FanDuel, they're a little bit more friendlier on the if you're looking for like game props and like same game parlays
Yeah,
to like prop bet for those. So I do like FanDuel for when I'm trying to do like parlays with props
parlays.
in it.
Okay.
Because like Barstool has it, but it's a little bit different, like the way that the apps work and
Yeah.
what's able to be crossed in. But like FanDuel's pretty easy. Like, hey, like same game parlay. Like this is what I'm looking to bet and all of it. So I really can't complain about any of it. I haven't ever used the DraftKings sportsbook, which is weird because like I play a lot of DraftKings like itself on daily fantasy.
Yeah.
On like Sunday NFL, but I've never used their sports book. I don't know why, but I've used MGM. MGM's kind of like pretty basic with it.
Yeah.
You just got to find out like the promos, what kind of promotions these books are running when you're if you
When you're
haven't
doing
signed up for it yet. If you have to sign up for the book, like look for the better promo, whether it's DraftKings or FanDuel.
Yeah, it'll be fun. I just wish Georgia would do it. Would
Step
at least
into the
make mobile
21st century. Yeah,
at least mobile gambling. But whatever.
yeah.
I wish Florida brought it back, but whatever.
Yeah, what a 4 week stretch. That was so much fun.
God, I was part of it. I was a part of it.
I was betting like 10:30 NBA tip offs, like just sweating it out at like 1:30 in the morning. It was just
Like,
great.
who, baby? This is. I don't got a problem. I don't got a problem.
Like, need a three.
Come on, dude. It was fun when I did it. It was the last week, and it was the Thanksgiving weekend. I put $100 for my birthday. Put $100 in. It was through Hard Rock. I really didn't know how to parlay anything. I just kind of randomly picked stuff. Did not work out. There's no magic story here. I lost all the money. I had $10 left. the Pac-12 games came on at 10:30. It was USC versus UCLA, and it was Stanford Cal, and it was in Hard Rock was doing a 2-leg
Like one of the
parlay,
boost, yeah.
a booster,
Yeah.
a booster parlay, and then what I did is I put the $10 down. I won both my games. I picked USC and I picked Stanford to beat Cal, and I won $100 back.
That's incredible.
I was like, I win. I'm going to bed.
Yep.
Like I didn't win nothing, but I won. So
Yeah.
uh,
Just the rush is just so much fun.
it was just funny. But yeah, those boosters are fun. I guess no one was betting them. They were like, let's boost this thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was fun. So let's move into the NFL, man. There's been some crazy stuff going on in the NFL in the last 3 weeks, man. Let's get into the rundown, and then let's hit those contenders, pretenders. Are so much. I'm excited for them.
Really tough injury week right now for the fantasy football playoff guys. Been real tough. A skew of injuries. Kenneth Walker, Nick Chubb, Jalen Hurts on the injury report. Probably going to miss Saturday. So lots of guys that you didn't see. Jonathan Taylor went down.
He's on the IR. Yep.
Yeah, he's done. He's done for the year. So there's plenty of guys that are looking for guys to pick up on those waiver wires, and a couple guys that I would go after. The Zach Moss, Deion Jackson, in that Colts offense. We're looking at a heavy dosage of Zach Moss potentially. In Indy. So
that's what they're predicting.
I would be looking to streamline one of those guys. I think both of them are even playable, to be honest with you, if you can't get one or the other.
In most leagues, yeah.
You kind of hope for the Colts to kind of go down and go into the pass game on Monday night with Nick Foles now starting. So if Deion Jackson becomes like the pass catching back, like he is, and the Colts go down, you'll see a lot more of him. In with that, it doesn't look good for Kenneth Walker either. He is nursing the ankle injury, and the Seahawks signed someone from their practice squad of running back to the active roster on yesterday, which Tuesday. They're never a good sign.
They're not even in contention. They're not in contention anymore, so they'll probably just rest him anyway. He's had a great year. So those teams that are out of contention, definitely make sure you're doing your homework, looking at your starters, and going, all right, who's going to play? Because that's what I hate about this 17-week thing now. It's such a long season that so like these starters who started 15 weeks in a row and their team just got eliminated, they're going to play, but they're not going to play. Like they're there to, like Marshawn Lynch. You know why I'm here.
Mm-hmm.
Like
and a lot of people have asked me, like, with the whole Nick Chubb like randomly coming up with a foot injury, he had to have some practice yesterday or today. It's like, oh well, D'Ernest Johnson last year was playable and played very well. Well, D'Ernest Johnson was on a 1-year deal that he signed late in summer because no one else gave him a deal.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think D'Ernest Johnson's going to be doing a lot of playing. You know who I think is going to get some carries if Chubb doesn't go? I think the rookie Jerome Ford's going to get some carries. I think they're going to see how he can fit in the offense because Kareem's not going to come back. D'Ernest probably isn't coming back. They need to know like how good Jerome Ford is. So if I'm looking at Nick Chubb being out, like, don't pick up D'Ernest Johnson. Like, I think it's going to be Kareem Hunt, and you're going to get a little splash of Jerome Ford just to see what he's about. And it's going to be a cold game, but I would stay away from that.
Every game's going to be cold this weekend.
It looks miserable. Like,
miserable.
I would not want to be up there.
I would not want to be anywhere except Miami for any game this week. It's so cold everywhere.
Yeah, I just there's a lot that's been going on in the NFL, but the crazy drastic change in weather this coming weekend. Insane, because it was like 25 in Cleveland. And then it got late and it snowed a little bit in the fourth quarter there
It did,
last
yeah.
week.
It did.
So that was kind of cool, but also it got cold quick there. And same thing with Buffalo. We got the snow globe game, which is an all-timer. Like, the snow globe games are just the most fun to watch, especially like late Saturday night division game. Like, that was pretty awesome.
I will say this: the Dolphins, in my most recent history of watching football, they've had the worst 3-game stretch I've ever seen.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
And then they came out and did that against Buffalo.
like that was the end of the 3-game stretch.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they had to go out to San Francisco and play San Francisco, which is not easy at all. Even
Best
when they're not
defense in the
good.
league.
Yeah, even when they're not good, it's never easy. Then they had to turn around the next week and play the Chargers in LA. And that's when the Chargers got both their wide receivers back. Yeah. And then, oh, by the way, you don't get a rest. You get to go to Buffalo. So 3 away games, all in hard locations. So the fact that they didn't get blown out in every game, they were.
Yeah, it looked pretty bad those first 2 weeks. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah. But I feel for him. I just feel for him. When it comes to the end of the scheduling, I don't know who made that schedule, but they need to get fired.
Yeah.
Like, the NFL screwed them, because the NFL does the scheduling, right?
Yeah, there's a scheduling department, but the networks kind of like bid for the games, so they go on like a bidding schedule for like week by week, and that's kind of like how it is.
They got screwed. They got screwed. That was bad.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man. And now, like, they were 3-4 weeks ago, they were literally in the hunt, to now they're like 2 games back.
Yeah, they were like the 2 seed at one point, I think.
It's insane. It's crazy. It's crazy, man. Mm-hmm. Hey, that's football though, right? You got to play to win. You got to play every Sunday. Play every week. Play who you play. What else on our rundown? Let's do this week's games. We did put out our picks for this week, just straight up picks for Christmas Eve and Christmas. But I kind of want to talk about a couple of those games. There's some good games, some games that matter, actually.
Yeah.
That we're doing for Christmas.
Yeah, it starts tomorrow night. Jags Jets. Jags playing for a division title. Jets playoff lives are on the line. Another start for Zach Wilson. Don't know how it's gonna go. Actually, kind of intrigued to watch this game. It should be pretty good for a Thursday night game. I think it's supposed to be a little cold in New York, so nothing like late season football under the lights in prime time. You know what I mean?
Yeah, this one wouldn't have mattered at all if the Jags haven't done what they've done the last couple of weeks. They've made it a game worth watching. And because they have gone on the road and beaten the Titans in Tennessee, and then they just played the Cowboys at home and beaten them in overtime, like, those are really good wins. So this one, a primetime game on the road. It's cold, young squad still, with a veteran coaching staff, a really good coaching staff. We'll see what they can do. And they need the win. They really need the win, like, badly. So to keep them in contention for the division, not just the wild card division. And the Jets need a win, obviously, for wild card purposes. So the NFL script writers did a good one on this one. They just knew what they were doing.
Yeah, there's some real stinkers of games, so we can kind of go through those, throw those up. I don't think Falcons Ravens is going to be a good game. We do have a weird Sunday night or Saturday night game in the Raiders and Steelers. That's going to be
is that some
two
Pittsburgh?
Historic franchises, but it's in Pittsburgh.
Yeah, Pittsburgh wins that one.
New Orleans, Cleveland's a stinker at the 1 o'clock. Bills Bears is a stinker, and then
Yeah.
Texans Titans division game, but 1-12-1 Texans. Not really a team that I'm interested in watching.
You said Texans Titans.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, the problem is the Titans can't score, and it
But
looks like, and neither can the Texans.
and it looks like it's Malik Willis.
And it looks like Millis is gonna get the start. So
for the rest of the year.
yeah, Tannehill's got a high ankle sprain. If he does, if Willis sucks, they did sign Josh Dobbs. Today they signed him.
Yep.
He was with the line. So as a Tennessee fan and Titan fan, I'm excited about it.
That's awesome.
If you're gonna sign somebody, might as well sign somebody who knows. He's been with multiple teams in the league. As a backup.
I mean, the Browns fans wanted Josh Dobbs to play just this year.
I think he should have, but
I mean, I don't think that Jacoby did anything wrong.
Jacoby did nothing wrong. I don't know. Just
top 10 quarterback rating all year.
Yeah, I feel
have the number 5 offense in the league under Jacoby.
Yeah, I feel like Josh should have played a lot more in Pittsburgh rather than Landry Jones.
Correct.
They started Landry Jones, and I was like, Josh.
Landry Jones.
Yeah, Josh outperformed Landry Jones 3 years in a row when it came to preseason, and the Steelers went with him as the number 2 every time. So, and then when Ben got hurt, Landry was their guy. So
yep.
I was like, Josh could do everything he's doing and probably a little bit better because he's more athletic.
Yep.
So, I think honestly the Bills Chicago game in Chicago might be
fun to watch.
Yeah.
Just on the way that the game is going to be, the elements
of the game. That's what I'm looking at. Really, the elements of the game might be a factor in that one. And I just want to see Justin Fields run around and do the athletic stuff again.
Yeah, he's so awesome.
That run last week was so cool. You're like, wow, that was really awesome. Too bad you can't throw it, but man, that was really cool what you did with your legs there. Is that what else is on Saturday?
We do have the Chiefs playing the Seahawks. Giants Vikings 1:00 game, pretty solid.
Giants Vikings, yeah.
Well, Bengals Patriots, Lions Panthers, kind of a mad game. Lions exciting.
They just need to win.
Yeah.
They just need to win.
That should be another win for Detroit, I think.
But here's the weird thing about that game. The Panthers are sitting at 5-7. They're
5-9.
Only 5-9. They're only a game back from the Bucks.
Yeah, they're only a game back of the Bucks.
So if that's a home game, so they can win that one and the Bucks lose, they're tied.
Yeah, which is crazy. If the Bucks can't beat the Cardinals on Sunday night with Trace McSorley,
then they don't. They don't.
That's just not. Yeah, fire everyone in Tampa on Monday.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
What about that 4:30 game on Sunday? Wow, the NFL thought they were doing something really good by giving us Broncos Rams, but really they're giving us Baker Mayfield versus Brett Rippon on Christmas Day. Merry Christmas.
Honestly, if that guy gets hurt, it could be Jared Ganterno.
Oh my god. Oh wow. Merry
But Christmas. It's a Nickelodeon game. It'll be fun.
Yeah. Hey, Baker could get another MVP. He got one last week.
God. They're lucky that game's on Christmas and no one's watching. Really? It's going to be on, but no one's watching it.
Yeah. So let's transfer over to
contenders
and do kind of a rapid fire, quick hot take on the team, and we'll go through the playoff teams, and we're talking contender or pretender, not for playoff purposes, but to win the Super Bowl.
Super Bowl
is what I want to do. Super Bowl. Can you see Can you close your eyes and see that team with that quarterback and that coach raise the Lombardi Trophy
I gotcha.
this
Okay,
season?
I
All
gotcha.
right, all right. I'll let you. I'll read off the team, and you give me your 10, 15-second take on contender or pretender.
Okay,
Number one, Buffalo Bills.
pretender.
All right, wow. That's any reason why? Is it
Von
the
Miller's
health?
Von Miller's hurt.
Yep. The health of the defense is what I think will ultimately do it, and the fact that they still can't figure out how to run the ball.
There's no running game, and then Von Miller's hurt. This in the beginning of the year
And
when
Josh Allen's a little banged up with his elbow.
yeah,
Like no matter what they say, like he doesn't
they
look 100%.
you got to run the
He's like
football.
90%.
You got to run the football in the league. You have to.
Yep.
And
Kansas City.
Kansas City. Contender.
I would agree.
Contender, 100%. They found a running game, and their defense is always good around this time of year.
Yep.
Like they play around mid, like D, and then they just get hot right before the playoffs. So, and it's Andy Reid. You don't go against Andy Reid.
Yeah, it's Andy Reid in the playoffs.
Yeah.
I would agree with you for all of those reasons. Cincinnati.
Contender.
Yeah, I mean,
as much as I want to say last year was luck, more than anything on their defensive side of the ball, they got really lucky in a couple games. They've been playing really well this year. Since week 2.
They're on a hot stretch right now.
And
yes. Like this is a team that I like the most on the border with, and it's not because of like I don't think that they're good. I just think their coach is a fucking idiot. Like I think
Zach Taylor's the only reason why it holds them back.
Yeah. Like I think that team could be like 12-2 if it wasn't for Zach Taylor.
Oh yeah.
And they also get bailed out. Like I think the refs love Cincinnati because did you see that play last week against the Bucs where it was, I think 3rd and goal, or it was it was either 3rd and goal or like 3rd and 10, and Joe Burrow like scrambled right and then tried to go left, and then he ran all the ways back from like the 10-yard line. He got sacked at like the 45. And then, like, they called the defensive holding. It was, like, the biggest bailout, like, ever.
Was that,
like,
was that a 1 o'clock? That was a 1 o'clock game, right?
What's that?
Those were 1 o'clock games. Remember, I fell asleep.
No. The Bucs Bengals game, I believe. Was that a 1 o'clock? No, I think it was a 4 o'clock window. Yeah, it was a 4 o'clock game.
Okay, I must have fell asleep.
Oh my God,
I passed out.
Miserable.
I missed all those crazy 1 o'clock games, how they ended, and I missed the first halves of the 4 o'clock games. I was really tired.
Yeah. Okay. We'll finish up AFC here with a couple. Titans, I think we both are on board that they are pretenders. Unfortunately.
Their head coach is a contender. Their running back is a contender. He's working with
scraps right now. Like
he's got scraps, man. They fired the Titans. I know they want to go quick, but they fired John Robinson, the GM, 2 weeks ago. The president Adams, the lady, she just fired him like straight on the spot. I guess there was some animosity between the two still about the AJ Brown thing. Yeah. Because she wanted to sign AJ Brown and give him the money that he wanted. John Robinson said, "No, we can save money by giving him away and stuff like that." So they never saw eye to eye on that. And then on top of that, he didn't bring in any offensive linemen, or any other skill players besides what he got in the draft. And like Robbie, like Robert Woods, whatever. But like they needed to bring in a whole lot more to support that team. They locked down that defense till Jesus comes back. But they have no help offensively. So it'll be interesting to see what happens this offseason with their offense. And
Yeah.
but they're 100% pretenders.
Yeah.
I don't even think they'll win the division.
I also think that Baltimore is pretenders until Lamar is 100% healthy. But even then, Lamar's been like terrible in the postseason, so I would consider them pretenders.
Lamar, what's the furthest he's gone? Is the AFC Championship game,
Divisional round.
divisional round. Yeah, but he's never
It's like
had like
3.
he's never had home field advantage. Never had to like the bye week. He's always had to play on the road, I believe, right? Yeah, I don't know, man. I just want to say they need more. They need more help.
Mm-hmm.
They're pretender to me,
and they have no wide receivers.
There's no wide receivers. Yeah, they need help.
Still don't.
To me, they're kind of like the Titans.
Mm-hmm.
Built kind of the same way.
The next team, contender or pretender, the Chargers. I feel like this is the same category as the Bengals. I think that they are right on the border of contender, pretender, depending on the day, because Brandon Staley is just a maniac.
Yeah.
Absolute man. I don't understand. But he's got a good quarterback that bails him out sometimes.
Justin Herbert, when he needs to go 2-minute drill down the field, he will throw some crazy good throws.
Mm-hmm.
Like last week, and he threw that ball.
I was
on the sidelines, about the back shoulder, but the front shoulder. Like I was like, and he did it on the run.
Yeah.
Like not feet set. And I'm like, God dang. God, this guy's good. You're like, he's so good, but there's something, they're missing something.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know what it is. And it's been that way for 2 years now. So like they're half. They're pretend.
I think their clock is ticking, I think.
Their clock is ticking because those wide receivers are getting old.
And they have a good defense.
Yes. So
I don't know.
We'll see. I think if they acquire what they need in the offseason, it might change for them.
And then everyone's biggest controversy in the AFC, Miami. Contender, pretender.
When they're fully healthy with what they have right now, they can be a contender, I believe.
Okay. I have them as pretenders.
I feel like I feel offensively they can keep up with anybody, and then when they added Nick Chubb as a free agent, that helped out with their D line and their pass rush. So their defense did get better. I just feel like the last 3 weeks isn't them. Like when they played, let's see, they've played some really good games this year.
Mm-hmm. Well, I will say this: they were in a shootout with the Lions, who have the 32nd rated defense in the league. They're pretty bad, and they had a shootout with them.
This is before they had acquired a bunch of those guys, though, in the free agents in the trade deadline.
Yeah, the trade deadline with getting like Bradley Chubb and that. But I will say this: Miami's got the offense to do it, but when it comes to second half of the season and second time around like playing teams, we'll see what happens, because like Buffalo was able to get them, so they were able to split with Buffalo. I think you take a split with Buffalo, but you know they were the 2 seed and now they're the 7 seed. So it's like they gotta turn it around. They hit a wall and they have a chance to win against. It is Aaron Rodgers, so like I'm not going to disrespect the Packers. Yeah. But the Packers coming into Miami on Christmas Day is a big game. It's a good team, and I think that it would really help them if they won that game. Well, I don't know. I think it could spiral for them if they don't win this game on Sunday, and like they could actually miss the playoffs.
It's a must-win. It's a must-win.
I think they have to win this one at home.
I'll go back on mine. I'll go
I don't
back on
think
mine
gets
because I don't see them holding the trophy. I can see them in the playoffs. The Packers are coming into this game for the Dolphins for blood because the Packers are still have a life.
Yeah.
Playoff
And Aaron
wise.
Rodgers trying to prove Big Cat wrong. So
Yes, 100%. So that's his biggest motivation is that. And they're going to run the rock and they're going to try to control the clock. And the Dolphins are going to have to get off the field defensively. They're going to have to get off the field. They're going to find a way. But I think it's a really good Christmas Day game.
Yeah.
And I would say next year, if they get what they need in the offseason, because their coach is such a smart coach, he can learn from his mistakes quickly. He'll be coming a year 2 coach. I think coming into year 2, they'll definitely be a contender for sure.
Yep. So we'll see what happens. Big 3-game losing streak now, and then you get the Packers, and then you go to New England, and then you come home to finish against the Jets. That's a big 3-game stretch, 2 division games, and Green Bay at home. So we'll see what happens. And then we can rapid the NFC because I think it's pretty clear over there.
It's very clear.
Yeah, Philly's a contender.
Philly is 100% contender.
Yeah, Minnesota. That's the debate. They're like statistically the worst 11-3 team in history, but I think they're good. Like I actually think they're good.
They have so much fight in them. There's something so different about this.
It's so hard to win one possession games in this league, and they've gotten everything to go their way this year. So I don't want to say that it's luck, but I think their luck might run out before the Super Bowl. But
there's something different about
them.
them.
I'm taking Kirk. I'm taking him.
So this isn't the first time Kurt looked like this with the Vikings. Mm-hmm. There's something different about them this year where it's like we're always waiting for the other shoe to fall off. We're waiting for the other shoe to fall off. I don't see a team who was down 33 points. Shoes are going to fall off.
Yeah, I agreed.
I don't.
I said it. I was sitting watching that game, and they went down 17-0, and I said the Colts will find a way to blow this game. And I didn't think that it was going to get up to 33-0. Like I'm not saying that I called them coming back from 33-0, but I just said 17-0 in the first quarter, and there was I think it was 3 or 4 minutes left. I was like, yeah, 17-0's cute for the Colts, but there's 48 minutes left in this game. Like they're gonna find a way to screw this up. Yeah. And they ended up doing it. So I see a lot of fight. I see a lot of resilience. I see a really good team.
There's difference. So to me, it's leadership. It comes down to they could have easily gone into halftime 33-0. Guys, we're first place in the division. Let's just enjoy it.
Everyone sit.
Let's just chill. Let's put all the backups in. They didn't. Mm-hmm. Their leadership was like, no, we got ourselves in this mess. We're going to get us out of this thing, and we're going to do it one score at a time. Mm-hmm. And they did. Yes, granted, it's the Colts. Whatever. And a lot of things had to go their way. Well, they went their way because they put the pressure back on the Colts. In that game, I knew they were going to win that game. 5 minutes to go in the fourth quarter, you had the 80-yard screen. And I was like, oh, here we go. Because that was literally the belief was setting in. We kept pushing. We kept chugging. We kept moving along. I believe that there was Vikings team of 3 years ago when they were pretty good, they would have quit. There's something different about this team. I'm telling you, man. It's weird. It might just be because they have a new coach.
Yeah.
With a bunch of veterans, a ton of veterans. So it's a good mix of young talent and veterans talent. I believe you have to have in order to have a Super Bowl contending team. I'm going to say they're a contender. I can see Kirk Cousins holding up the trophy if it's a 1:00 game.
It is true. It's sad. It's true. All right, Tampa. Do you buy or sell? Contender.
Sell Pretender.
Get them out. They're old. They're hurt. They're just not good.
They're
Um,
geriatrics. They're so bad.
And then Dallas. I buy Dallas.
I gotta close my eyes on this one. Hold on. They are Pretenders.
Ooh, dang, Cowboy Nation. Tough.
Because they don't have any depth at defensive back.
Yep.
And they're gonna play teams on the road that can throw the ball. It's nothing to do. I don't think it has nothing to do with Mike McCarthy. It's nothing to do with their front seven. I think it's everything to do with the fact that they're DBs. You can scheme around Diggs. They need
just don't throw that.
Yeah, just leave them on an island over there, and then everything else play the field. They're gonna have to honestly just unleash hell with Michael Parsons. But because Van Der Esch is hurt again, now you can actually scheme block to where Parsons is. You couldn't do that when you have Van Der Esch. There's too many people to block. So they got to get healthy. But I just don't think – I just think they're Pretenders. Based off of seeing how many yards Trevor Lawrence threw on them last week, ridiculous.
Not good. And then the team that everyone's falling in love with, my San Francisco 49ers.
They're contenders.
Number one defense.
They're contenders.
In the NFL.
Yeah.
They have so many weapons on offense if they get healthy, going into the postseason. I think Debo should be fine by the time playoffs rolls around. But so many weapons on that offense. And, the thing with San Francisco is Brock Purdy's not going to lose you a game, but can he win the game if you need him to? I think that's really the question that you have to ask yourself. But I think the defense will even be able to win that game for them. So
their defense
as long as he doesn't turn over the ball, I think we could see Brock Purdy holding up that trophy. And you know what? I would absolutely love if that happened, because what the hell, that becomes the biggest storyline of the offseason about Trey. Like if Brock Purdy wins the Super Bowl,
you're not replacing him.
You can't bring Trey Lance back to replace Brock Purdy. And I would live for that story. I mentioned
the Brock Purdy in our boys chat last week. I said the reason why he fits so well in Kyle Shanahan's system is because it's the exact same system he ran at Iowa State for 4 years. He was a 4-year starter at Iowa State.
Yeah.
And his freshman and sophomore years, Brock Purdy was on Heisman lists. Like the last 2 years, they just didn't have any players, so they were mediocre. But he stayed the course. So he's got 4 years of college game reps experience, seeing defenses, all kinds of different defenses. He knows how to, if you watch him, he knows how to read the coverages and the blitzes. Like his passes, that second touchdown pass to Kittle, he read that. Yeah, he read that. It wasn't like, oh, let me just throw it because that's the call. He literally he hiked it. He knew the pressure was coming. He saw that his 1 and 2, his one was being covered. But he knew Kittle was coming across the field because he saw that the safety had come down, and he just boom, like it was nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Like to
He's
me,
a 10-year vet.
comfortable. Yeah, like he's a comfortable in the pocket.
Mm-hmm.
Trey Lance would have ran the ball. Oh my guy's covered. I'm running because there was opening to run. He could have ran, but Brock Purdy said he looked composed in the pocket, and you don't get that from rookies unless you have confident
BCB,
rookies.
baby.
Huh?
That's BCB. That's BCB.
Yeah. And what also helps too, what helps him the most is he's got the best security blanket in the world, and that is CMC.
Yep. My guy.
You can't.
Hey, he's healthy.
He's healthy. CMC is the best security blanket. I'm gonna say it right at the camera. The best security blanket that's ever played football. As a quarterback, you got CMC back there blocking on your backside or your front side, and no one's open. All you gotta do is toss it to him. Five yards. He's gonna get you 25.
Yep.
Because no lineman, no offense, no linebacker is going to be able to tackle him one-on-one. He's too agile. He's too quick. He's swift. He can also block for you too. Like in the run, so the fact that they have a running game without Deebo Samuels with CMC, and then you bring Deebo Samuels with Ayuk, and then you have the third down dog himself, Jawan Jennings.
Yeah, Jawan Jennings, Kittle. Like there's so many playmakers. Brock doesn't have to
J-Dog was drafted in the 6th round by them because he can block.
Yeah.
And he's proven that he's a baller. Like just put on his film his senior year at Tennessee with Jared Greenterno as the quarterback. Like J-Dog's a dog. There's a reason why they won 8 games, and it's because of him by himself. He's not the fastest. He's not the best wide receiver on any team, but he's gonna punch you in the mouth, and that's what they need, and that's what their offense has the same mentality as their defense.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how, for me, they're complete contenders. I could definitely they can go on the road and win it.
What we are gathering from this last 5 minutes of talking is that 49ers Nation, let's ride.
Yeah.
Bring us to the bandwagon. I'm going to look into the camera right now, and I'm asking 49ers Nation, will you accept us onto the wagon? Because
I got my Levi's on right now. I look good in Levi's. I look good in gold. All right, Niners Nation. You hearing it from us right here.
We're
Niners winning the NFC against the Vikings in Minnesota.
Wow. Well, that would be awesome. What a game.
That would be a good game.
I'm looking forward to it.
That's a hell of a game. That's going to be a good game. Can't wait. And then it's going to go down AFC Championship game. It's going to be the Chiefs and the Bengals if they don't play in the divisional round. That'll be fun.
Round 4? Can Bro get them 4 times in a row?
I just don't see. There's only 2 teams I can see going AFC unless somehow, some way, the Bills find health anytime soon. So I don't see it. No, but those are your contenders, pretenders. Currently, right now, we have 3 weeks left of the NFL season, and there's 3 vital weeks. There's very important games. So this has always been fun. It says we're at an hour and 40, but we waited. Yeah. We started late, so we're really at an hour and 10. This has been great. Continue to like us, follow us, subscribe to us. Our Instagram is blowing up, which is cool. It's good to see that. We're over 100 followers. Woo!
Yes, sir.
But tell your friends about us and engage with us. If you don't think our contender for the AFC or the NFC are correct, let us know. We want to hear about it. Mm-hmm. Good luck with all your betting this week. And on top of that, happy holiday. Merry Christmas from my family to yours. Be blessed this holiday and be safe, and wishing good health. And looking forward to doing this next week, hopefully.
Yeah.
during the dead week next week. So, Scott, always fun. Wish I'll
Yes.
see you on Friday, but
Yeah, I know. Me too. But gotta get that bread, you know.
I know, brother. I know.
So,
All
well,
right,
have
man.
safe travels.
You too, man. Have a good one.
Talk to you later.
Yes, sir. Bye, y'all. Peace.
Orange down. Oh shit.